Oh boy, Vox Media, you just cannot resist in extending this drama even further, can you? This video isn't the one that you see last time. This is an even longer update of what happened after that video. What happened after that video? Well, people being really stupid. So if you guys missed it, The Verge made a terrible PC building video to which everyone reacted. I reacted to this, my brother reacted to this. It's an absolute cringe fest and it's a great meme amongst the PC hardware community. Despite this video being around September last year, we talked about that video again in current year because The Verge and the people at Vox Media got salty with Lyle's video, which is now back. I will link to that video down below. So they issued a copyright strike on his channel on that video, which will prevent him from live streaming his awesome hardware show that he usually does with his partner in crime, Pulse Hardware. Thankfully, the issue has been resolved, and Kyle said that he received a copy of the email that YouTube sent to The Verge and how the copyright notification may not be valid for some or all of the videos identified. YouTube went on to say that in many countries, it is legal to use copyrighted works in specific ways without the owner's authorization, particularly for transformative purposes such as news reporting, parody, commentary, or review. In other words, fair use. And good on you, YouTube, for standing up to the creators for once. The strike was issued in February 13th and it was released literally a day later. Glad that the situation has been resolved and glad that pretty much everyone in the tech community, especially those with a huge influence, has been very supportive of Kyle towards this horrendously false DMCA claim. It's one of the few times where the tech community and fanboys of the blue, red, or green team unite against a common enemy, the traditional media that says tech YouTubers are not journalists. Of all the people who spoke out against this tweet, I think JayzTwoCents made perhaps the most brilliant response to it.
Well, I'll be honest, I've never been more pleased and just more ecstatic about that because I'm not trying to be a journalist. Because a lot of journalists have ulterior motives, they have political alignment, and that's not what I'm about here. So I took that as a compliment. Greatest compliment you could give me. I'm not a journalist. Thank you.
So the drama between Kyle and The Verge is at its end, and there's really nothing else to talk about because everything is resolved. We know that the PC building video is garbage, so let's not extend this drama any further. Hey, I said let's not! Then this article pops up to give us a great example and a stellar conclusion, if this is a conclusion to this drama at all, that shows an absolutely disastrous PR failure for Vox Media and The Verge. This is not how you do PR. This is a guide in how to lower your already bottom of the barrel reputation into a bedrock. It's interesting that The Verge made an entire article on this situation in the first place, making this drama more public to not just Kyle's viewers, but also to a much wider audience in general. You just made this drama more public. And man, the way you handled this entire thing should be put as a golden example in how not to do PR. The saddest part here is that it's not even entirely The Verge's fault. I want to address a situation around some YouTube copyright strikes, since retracted, issued by The Verge and Vox Media, that has gotten pretty toxic and could have been avoided if the parties involved had simply reached out to me directly. Honestly, while the editor-in-chief does a lot of mishaps himself, the blame on this entire thing goes to Vox Media's legal team, because the article portrayed the legal team as a bunch of incompetent and overly sensitive individuals who should never ever practice law in any capacity. This legal team has made a decision that not just ruined your public image, but also very much illegal. A legal team made an illegal decision because their feelings are hurt. I think that justifies firing. You don't want these people to handle any lawsuits. Early this week, a number of YouTube reaction videos were flagged to Vox Media's legal team, who are very diligent and productive of our work. Two of them were reaction to a PC build video we have made several months ago, which I determined did not meet our standards and had pulled from YouTube. Those two videos are as follows. A fully edited video from Kyle from Bitwit with him playing as Lyle, his stereotypically Asian relative, and a live stream from ReviewTechUSA. Neither of these two videos justify the strike because they are commentary, they offer criticism, and they fall under fair use. Thankfully, ReviewTechUSA also won the copyright dispute just moments after Kyle's copy strike got lifted. We'll get to who lifted that strike later because that one is an interesting topic in and of itself. Those two reaction videos used 90% of our footage without any edits, cuts, or otherwise transformative use, and one of them in particular featured what our legal team felt was a pretty racist character. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would call fake news. Let's get to the easiest one. Rich's video is a live stream reacting to the cringe as he occasionally paused to give his comment. It doesn't have that much edit, but it still falls under fair use because it is commentary. It is a critique of the video, except it's being done in a live stream format. Kyle's video, on the other hand, is a fully edited video. It's a typical reaction format where you have the YouTuber reacts on a picture-in-picture frame, and they will occasionally switch to a full screen mode. The video starts off with Lyle mocking the host, which I admit is pretty damn funny.
Okay, how they get the Steve Urkel to build a computer? Man, he does not age at all.
And it continues with more critiques and mockery, all done in a very stereotypical Asian caricature. To say that the two reaction videos don't offer transformative views is straight up fake news. Rich's video isn't edited because, well, it's a freaking live stream, but Kyle's video is edited so that it only focuses on the terrible parts of the video. Either way, both videos are transformative. They offer criticism and parody to the original video. They both fall under fair use, and your legal team should be fired. Oh, but wait a second, the legal team noticed that Kyle's video is playing a racist character. That automatically justifies the DMCA, right? Well, some of you might not know this, but Kyle is half Asian. He's literally making fun of half of himself when he's being in that role. The people at Vox Media's legal team are probably unaware of this fact. If you look at his high school yearbook, he's more Asian than any of you people in there. Come to think of it, the tech YouTubers that I subscribe to are not just giving me good content, but they're pretty freaking diverse. Can't blame them. Technology is awesome. I want to include Linus's reaction to this part of the article because it's just great.
What our legal team felt was a pretty racist character. Yeah, but you don't get to just let your personal sensitivities get involved in a legal issue.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's fair use actually doesn't really have anything to do with whether you like the character being portrayed or not.
Yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I love Linus. Just remember to tweet from Android next time. Our legal team felt this was not fair use and issued a copyright strike request to YouTube for those two videos. A number of other very critical videos were not responded to in any way. Your legal team felt that this was not fair use. Not that the video is actually not fair use. Your legal team needs to have their sensitivities checked. That or be fired because they have just made a terrible legal advice that just costed you your public relations and it's an illegal move to make. Your legal team just advised you to commit an illegal move which will cost you your PR and have costed you your PR. Vox or The Verge are being scammed by this legal team. I don't know if I should feel bad for them at this point, but goddamn. Hey, at least the other critical videos were not responded to in any way. I find it interesting that the two videos being struck down by Vox's legal team are the ones offending the progressives in some ways. ReviewTechUSA has spoken against far left or progressive types of people in his videos. Kyle, on the other hand, is just being stereotypically Asian, and that is very offensive to the progressives, who are mostly white people, last time I checked. I want to know the legal team that got offended by Lyle's video because I am Asian and I'm not offended. The article then talks about how YouTube agreed that the videos were not fair use, therefore they issued the strikes. I find this odd because Kyle received a letter from YouTube, which is a copy of an email that they sent to The Verge saying that the copyright strikes are not valid. So which one is the truth here? But then the editor-in-chief said that he agreed with their legal argument. In other words, the editor-in-chief of The Verge doesn't know how fair use works, and so is his legal team. The cast of Winnie the Pooh is a better legal team than this. The Three Stooges are a better legal team than this. I love that he even emphasized it. Oh my god! Are you actually this dense? The article then showed a screenshot saying that it was The Verge who retracted the claims, but Kyle said that it was YouTube who retracted the claims. Again, Kyle's video and ReviewTechUSA's video very much fall under fair use. They are very blatantly falling under fair use. You don't need a lawyer to see it. You can check those two videos out. I will link to them down below. They fall under fair use and you are wrong. The Verge has written many times about the problems with YouTube's copyright enforcement mechanism, and I do not think it works well enough for us to use it in cases like this. No kidding, it looks like you guys have literally zero self-awareness. One thing I did not do was tweet about it because I didn't think the nuance of the situation would lend itself to tweets, and also quite honestly because I didn't think it was a big deal. There were strikes and the strikes were retracted. I assume everyone would just move on. And then you made this article, and then you lied through this article, and then you made your legal team to sound like a bunch of lobotomized freshmen from a recently defunct law school. But then he showed an email from a user who actually directly emailed the editor-in-chief. He said that there are only 3 people who contacted him directly through email about this issue, and the way he framed the paragraph insinuates that he's the one who should have been contacted first. This entire thing is the action of Vox Media's legal team, which is the Verge's parents company, and it's not done with the editor-in-chief's knowledge. I'm just utterly amazed that the legal team of a parent company can issue copyright strikes of a video from a child company without the knowledge of the child company. It's just absurd. How can you not notify the editor-in-chief of The Verge for a copyright strike towards 2 videos reacting to a video from The Verge? How are you notified about this hours later? But then the editor-in-chief has to talk about those awful death threats, the dislike mobs, and those nasty comments. Oh no, how horrible. I would also like to point out that The Verge made an article about how YouTube is considering to remove the dislike button to prevent dislike mobs, which is just freaking hilarious. The article then showed me an example of a death threat, which is not even a death threat. When this guy says, "Good luck staying alive," he's referring to the publication. Good job, editor-in-chief of The Verge, for including an example that goes against your point. This is all pretty disappointing, especially since I had retracted the strikes and none of the people involved thought it important to simply ask me about it. I hope everyone involved can take a moment and think about making sure they actually know what they think they know and the value of communicating directly instead of simply reacting.
That was gold. The end of that was just gold. I don't even think I need to talk about that part. That's just, whew.
Wow, that is an amazing ending. Vox's legal team is dumb, and they should be fired. They just made an illegal move that costed terrible PR for their child company, and they didn't even report that they made the move to the editor-in-chief until hours later. Those 3 actions, in my opinion, are way too egregious for them to be staying in the place at all. The editor-in-chief, on the other hand, he's just really out of touch, and he's very self-centered. Kyle did contact Vox and The Verge by tagging them on Twitter. He's not aware that you are the editor-in-chief, he's not aware that you're the person who should be contacted, and he's also not aware that you disagreed with the strike. Or at least you disagreed about the action and not the principle, which is really stupid. Kyle probably thought that you agreed with all of that. That's why he tagged Vox and The Verge's Twitter account. It would actually be much worse if he just directly contacted you, because that would imply that he's blaming you for this mess when it's actually your legal team who's at fault, who didn't contact you on making this decision. The second sentence is just insane. I hope everyone involved can take a moment and think about making sure they actually know what they think they know. What are you talking about? I honestly have no idea what this sentence is referring to, unless if you're directing it entirely to the legal team, which in that case, I totally agree. In fact, I think they should be fired. If they were my legal team, I would fire them straight up. They're unable to put their personal bias aside in order to make legal judgments. And the last one, the value of communicating directly instead of simply reacting. You made that video public. You made that video as a guide. It is a terrible guide that will be fatal to the people who buy hundreds of dollars components. People in the tech community made their comments under your video, but you removed the comments and then you removed the likes bar. The value of communicating directly. We did communicate to you directly, and you shut your freaking ears off. That's what led to people making reaction videos. That's why people like Kyle and Rich and Kristofer and me and my brother make videos making fun of you and telling people that they shouldn't follow your guide. In other words, You did this. You are the ones fostering an environment where direct communications are practically useless. Your host was dismissing criticisms when they're brought to you. And then you deleted the video and said that there are minor factual errors. Sure thing, Verge. The kind of minor factual errors that would break components that cost hundreds of dollars. It's clear to everyone around you, including the people at the tech community, that you are so persistent and stubborn that you would refuse to listen to any criticism. I don't blame Kyle, or anyone for that matter, to not contact you directly, because through that viral video you made, you have successfully created an environment in which direct communication are useless. This isn't on Kyle. This isn't on any of the people who made these reaction videos. This is entirely on you, and you're not even aware of it. In conclusion, at least we know that the copyright strike was made by perhaps the most incompetent and the most destructive legal team that I have ever heard of in my entire life. They are a legal team making illegal decisions based on their personal feelings without consulting the people who own the copyrighted materials. All of that coupled with an editor-in-chief who has no idea what he's doing, and you get a great recipe in how to completely destroy your reputation and how to dig even deeper through the bottom of the barrel. Congratulations, Fox and The Verge. You have made a PR disaster that is actually worthy to be put side by side with that awful tutorial video. If you insist that this Vox Media legal team are doing pretty diligent and protective works, that's fine. I cannot wait for the next time they screw up.